again, viewers. Kryten Prime here again, coming at you from Crazy TV on Icon. Welcome back to my overview series for CGI Transformers. For this episode, the nameless Decepticon warship in the first ever episode that hardly did anything finally has its time to shine in Nemesis Part 2. At the beginning, Megatron has his own Covenant of Primus, which he's reading one of his favourite excerpts from, as he's wreaking havoc upon the land as Tigerhawk and Optimus watch. Again, Megatron's only reading the good bits of this Covenant. I don't know what it's been doing on the Nemesis this whole time, but we'll never know. We're just interested in the action as Tigertron and Optimus are making an attempt to fire, flying at it and firing upon it, and Nemesis has got its various missiles, a barrage of missiles. I'm sorry, this is so exciting. Oh, good work, 90s. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. But of course, Optimus is initiating Operation Eternity, as the Maxwells are having to load everything into the Ark. As Rose explains, they're going to have to try and move the Ark. And Tigertron sends Optimus off alone to protect the Ark while he deals with the Nemesis himself. Okay, so Tigerhawk, once again demonstrating his godlike powers, even though he no longer has the Vok inside him, is making a sort of storm which is draining all the energy from the Nemesis, depleting all the weapons. But somehow it's still flying. And Dinobots, feeling a little more awake at this point, having felt a little bit more complete in the spark following the destruction of Rampage, and he's considering Tigerhawk's valiant effort a brave stand and noble. Of course, Megatron has an ace up his sleeve, as he has a backup weapon in the form of a giant flamethrower. Give me a moment. And Tigerhawk is making every effort to... He didn't see this coming, obviously. He didn't have time to turn. He was just blasting about as best he could. Give me a moment. And the flame overpowers him. And it blows him to smithereens. Get back! Blows him to smithereens. Sorry, cameraman. Only 3 episodes in, Tigerhawk is destroyed. Now, I'd just like to get this off my chest. I know this might make the overview a bit long again, but I'll get this off my chest. It says in notes, the extremely short duration of Tigerhawk's appearance on the show, a mere 3 episodes, was a result of a strange confluence of factors. At the time, it was not all certain that the Beast Wars franchise would be ending. However, at one point, after Tigerhawk had already written into the show at Hasbro's explicit request, the company considered not releasing his toy at all. Thus, he was killed off immediately. And was. Hasbro eventually decided to release the toy, but by that point, it was too late to change the scripts of animation. Tigerhawk's toy did not appear on shelves until well after his death in the show. So there is his toy. I'll be a bit less purple. Connor's got it. Lucky him. Get up, Black Arachnia. Get up. Forget it. And yeah, this is his toy. So in a way, in the end, it's a tribute to his death. So his death. For the reason for his death, because he wasn't selling enough toys. If the only reason that Obi-Wan Kenobi was killed off by Darth Vader because he wasn't selling enough toys, I would have been peeved off. Of course, this is Hasbro in a nutshell, and Hasbro likes to be incredible. Clearly, this isn't about the kids, is it? This is about the money. This is clearly their way of saying, make me incredible, children, make us incredible, make us incredible, make us incredible, make us incredible. This is okay, I'm back now. Meanwhile, Optimus has learned of Tiger Hawk's death, so he's declaring no more. And meanwhile, Inferno and Quick Striker are getting the upper hand on attacking the proto-human city. Sorry, I'm still a bit just drive myself off. Megatron arrives to destroy this human settlement, and Dinobot, having his original self awakening within him, is finding this a bit familiar with the human, especially the one leading with the hammer. We're flashing back to the original Dinobot saving the humans, back in Code of Hero, and unexpected by Megatron, Dinobot suddenly stops him from activating the weapon, and Dinobot starts quoting honor as he's asking where the honor would be in destroying one lone anthropoid. Then Dinobot apologises, claiming that it was just a means of conserving energy for the greater battle. But Megatron ignores this, and it unleashes hell upon this village, along with his two loyal lieutenants, along with his own loyal lieutenant, Inferno, and Quick Strike. So I guess it's okay to kill those two off, because they've had plenty of screen time and they've already had their toys. Unlike a certain tiger with wings. Unfortunately, the human survivor you see later on. And yeah, of course, Inferno officially dies this time. Apparently he was going to die in Agenda Part 2 when the engine exploded in his face, but decided to keep him around. But in the end, he got killed off by his own queen. Oh well. Okay, so now the Maximals are making an effort to move the Ark, lift it off, have it lift off, but the engines are knackered at this point. They're making a second. Well, no, not yet actually. Megatron having arrived, the power's still depleted, so Megatron has the idea of activating a tractor beam with blades. It's shut with the rocks being sucked up into spinning blades. Nemesis didn't have this in the G1 cartoon. Honestly, the ship's been given so much more personality in this entire episode. Oh, I love it. I love the ship. This episode made me love the Nemesis. Of course, Optimus goes off on his own and tears off his own wing to jam the system so he can get through and take on Megatron himself. And Black Arachnia has the idea of using Rattrap's tail as a fusion coil to get the engine working. That melts and the engines are kaput. And for once, Rattrap and Rhinox agree on the fact that they're all going to die. And it's not looking good, especially since Optimal Optimus isn't having much of a chance against the just giant Transmetal 2 Megatron, sorry. Again, which Connor has a figure of. And Dinobot, meanwhile, not seeing much sport in destroying a helpless target. Not much honour in that, eh? He has having his original self awaken. He's secretly downloading schematics for a secret Autobot shuttle that wasn't listed in the history records. So, keeping history written, Dinobot takes control of the shuttle to finish things, and Dinobot even refuses to destroy them. And Megatron exploding in his face that he's his creator. You obey me, I'm your creator. And Dinobot retorts that he has his honour. He's back, everyone, but for a bit. And then that ended up being a distraction as Rhinox rams the shuttle straight through the bridge and Nemesis right into Megatron, and they come flying out, destroying everything. Well, in the bridge. And I just like... I'll mention it in a minute. Optimus is escaping, but he's telling Dinobot to save himself, but Dinobot's bidding farewell as he dies again. 4 deaths in one whole episode of beloved characters. No, 5 if you count Air anyway, and Nemesis has finally gone down, and it's crashed goodness knows where. Again, it's not the victory. Yeah, it's not the Decepticon base and the rest of the G1 Cult team. I'd just like to point out that there was... I thought, why not? Because there is this deleted shot listed in trivia where Optimus rips out a transwarp coil before he's telling Dinobot to save himself. The thing is, when you see him flying out as the bridge explodes, you can see him holding it in his hand. So yeah, I think kids looking back will be watching like, hang on, what's that in his hand? It's the transwarp coil, as listed. And Nemesis crashes, and Optimus declares that it's done. All is as it should be, at last. But then he says the same thing in this deleted scene here, where he's yanking the Generation 1 Megatron spark out of his body. You can see the coil. He's just ripping it out, and he's putting it in its rightful owner. There's Generation 1 Megatron here. And he says the same thing. It's done always as it should be at last. So technically he says it twice. So I bet kids would be like, will be wondering, or modern viewers would be like, hang on, did G1 Megatron eventually get its spark back? There's your answer. Anyway, in the end, the Beast Wars are finally over, as the Autobots, the Maximals finally have an Autobot shuttle, a means of escaping the Earth at last. And they finally escape, having been trapped there for 3 whole seasons. And they're remembering. They're also remembering those who sacrificed their lives for the sake of past, present, and future, like Depth Charge, Tigertron, and Air Razor, and Dinobot as well, or Chopper Face's clone, as Ratchat calls him. They don't have to stare at Megatron's ugly mug until they get back to Cybertron, because they got him tied to the back of the ship. Oh, that's quite funny in a way. And of course, back on Earth, Waspinator finally has his happy ending, as he's being worshipped by the early humans. The end. And so, Beast Wars Transformers has finally come to an end at this point, all the way from 1996. You would think, what's the point in talking about all these episodes at each? You'd think, what's the point of doing that? You'd think that'd be a waste of time, but essentially, in the end, this is the series that saved the franchise. You know, following the apparently failed Generation 2. So this brought a sort of new edge to to the Transformers franchise. With this, I know it's a bit outdated, the CG animation. I know it looks a bit aged at this point, but in the end, it was revolutionary. It had a new approach. It had new characters, even though the leader was Optimus and the leader was Megatron, with the leader Optimus being primal instead of prime. It's just enjoyable to watch. Even though seasons 2 and 3 were shorter, I kind of accept that now, because there's plenty of time to appreciate all these characters, even though most of them died. So we got a whole lot of subtlety in a whole good way. Yeah, coming from a whole load of Transformers that turned into animals. So it's all over there. And so it's good to know that nothing else could come along to ruin it. Hello? Someone there? Okay, who's there? Okay, I know I can hear someone. This isn't a practical joke, is it? Look, seriously, who's there? Who's there? Thank goodness. It was nothing. Hello?